Beatrice Adu. The news is also live on Kesmi 107.1 FM and across the world at SRNews.com. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Electoral Commission maintains it is committed to producing a credible voters register for the December 7 polls, despite NDC's nationwide protests demanding an audit. Also coming up, Institute for Economic Affairs IEA forced to postpone the first in the series of evening encounters with presidential aspirants after 11th hour withdrawal by leader of New Force Nana Kwame Bediako. Much later on the program, Savannah Regional Security Council storms to Galamsey site on black voter to confront the destructive activities of illegal miners. Thank you very much for joining us today. Now, the Electoral Commission has formally acknowledged receipt of the petition submitted by the National Democratic Congress. This follows the nationwide demonstration on Tuesday, September 17, dubbed Enough and Is Enough. The main opposition NDC has been calling for a forensic audit of the voters' register ahead of the December 7 elections. And we'll bring you excerpt of the statement from the Electoral Commission very shortly, indicating exactly what its thoughts are regarding that petition from the NDC. Let me just read that short statement to you, which was signed by Samuel Tete, Deputy Chairperson or in charge of operations of the Electoral Commission. And it says the Electoral Commission has received the petition submitted by the National Democratic Congress NDC at the end of their demonstration on Tuesday, 17th September 2024. The Commission will review the petition and provide its response in the coming days. The Commission wishes to assure the general public that the process of producing the final register is in the early stages. Now, it also continues to say that the Commission is mindful that the voters' register is the bedrock of credible, fair and transparent elections. We show the NDC and all stakeholders of our avowed commitment to delivering a credible and robust final register ahead of the December 7 elections. In the meantime, our doors remain open. We look forward to engaging the NDC on their concerns. And there's a thank you there signed by Samuel Tete, who is Deputy Commissioner of the Electoral Commission, and we're joined by Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer. He's NDC Deputy Director of Elections and IT. Good afternoon to you, Doc. Thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon, dear. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking. I just read the excerpt of the statement by the Electoral Commission acknowledging receipt of the petition the NDC submitted at the end of the protest yesterday. Are you satisfied with the assurances coming from the Electoral Commission at this stage?
We are not satisfied with the assurances. We don't want any assurance from them. We are asking them to make sure that this audit is carried out. Anytime they issue a statement, it even strengthens our position to call for further audit of the register. Read their statement once again, and you'll see that they are saying that the preparation of the register is at its early stage now. I don't know what they put in that statement.
Yes, but is that not a fact?
Good, beautiful. Go back to their statement 2 weeks ago, the press conference of Bossman Asari, and then our meeting with them at the Electoral Commission office.
Bossman Asari said a lot of things at that press conference, so which specific one are you referring to?
He talked about the issues that they have identified in the register, and they have done the corrections, and they have reversed all the anomalies and all that. And then they agreed before even we met them. And when we met them, they made us to believe that they have done all the corrections that has been identified and all that. We gave them our hard drive and told them, okay, then you give us the corrected version you have. If we have the correction versions, then we'll go and study it and see whether you actually have checked and look at some of the things we have talked about. In any case, your IT department needs serious auditing, because that is where all the problems are coming from. And we must find out, because you agree that there is a loophole in your IT department where people are manipulating the data and manipulating people registered data.
This statement coming in from the Electoral Commission, as I read to you, per my interpretation, seemed to give an indication of a softening stance, as it were, because you're just quoting exactly what Dr. Bossman Asari said, that we've corrected it. Now, 2 weeks down the line, after the demands and, of course, the demonstration yesterday, the EC is saying we are in the early stages, and therefore we'll look at it in the coming days and get to you. Shouldn't that be indicative that at least the Electoral Commission is listening?
That is why we are not saying the Electoral Commission is listening. We are saying the Electoral Commission should do the right thing. And we are saying that this is not the first time such a call is being asked them to do the right thing. The magnitude of the problem as of now surpasses what happened in 2016, which allowed the Justice Craft Committee to look into the matter. They were talking of some 76,000, 80,000 Togolese. That's what they were talking about. Here we are talking of almost 275,000 plus put together. That is what we are talking of. This one clearly can let somebody win a general election without any difficulty. That is what we are talking about. And then you think that this one, we should allow it because you messed it up. You did it. It is their office that they said and messed up that data. So we should allow them to go ahead and continue with that one. Even when we are calling for exhibition of the register, they are running away from it. So you dump the register for us come December 7th. People will go there and they cannot find their names. And you know our law. If so long as your name is not in the register, on the D-Day, you cannot vote. You can be holding even ID card on your head. You will not be allowed to vote so long as your name doesn't appear in the register. That is our law. And we are not going to allow us to reach that stage. We want to correct it right now, make sure that everybody has up. We make sure that we have the proper data before we even think of going to special voting. That dragging feet that they are dragging their feet on this thing, we are not going to accept it. That's why we've given them 1 week.
In the meantime, exactly, and you've just answered that question there. So the NDC will be waiting within that 1 week for the Electoral Commission to get to you.
Certainly, that is what we have. We have given ourselves 1 week grace period. We have given petition to Speaker of Parliament and to Madam Jean Mensah. Now she says she has seen it. They are looking at it. Yes, Parliament to assure us they are also looking at it. Parliament, we are very sure, will trigger their oversight responsibility of them and to make sure that, look, the stability of this country is paramount. And we can only be stabilized when we have a functioning democracy. That is what we are protecting. We need to have a functioning democracy, a democracy that we all of us will be proud with, not this kind of charade that's been brought out here.
We'll have to end it here. Thank you very much, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, Deputy Director of Elections and IT with the opposition NDC. It's some 10 minutes past the hour of 12. This is still the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. When we come back, we'll bring you some more as regards illegal mining. Don't go away.
Microcredit is licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Bills, financing your needs. Terms and conditions apply.
So here on the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. Thank you for staying. Now, this afternoon, the Savannah Regional Security Council has begun a crackdown on illegal mining activities in the region. This follows the government's directive for regional, municipal and district security councils to lead the efforts to deal with galamsey menace, which has polluted water bodies and caused a massive destruction of forest reserves. Hundreds of illegal miners have invaded water bodies, particularly the Black Volta in the Savannah region, exploring for gold and polluting the water in the process. The regional minister Said Jabril has been leading security operations in this crackdown. The government has also been under pressure to ban all forms of small-scale mining. Christopher Marco is our Northern Region correspondent. He joins us live on the line. Chris, what occasioned this operation and any arrests yet? What can you tell us?
Yes, so Beatrice, you remember that the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources somewhere last week summoned all 15 regional ministers to Accra for a joint meeting on how to deal with the galamsey menace, especially on our water bodies. And so the Savannah Regional Security Council has taken that initiative already. They have commenced the operation, flash out all galamseyers on our water bodies, and Bamboy, which is in the Savannah region, as one of the areas that the water body, that is the Black Volta, has been affected. And so they moved to the area, even though there were no arrests made because the people river and left, but some champagne machines were bent, and the operation is continuing.
The operation is continuing. Are you able to paint a picture for us how devastating the activities have been so far on the Black Volta?
In fact, Beatrice, it is very bad because you look at the Black Volta and the level of devastation, the color of the water is beginning to change rapidly. The area complain that when they drink from the river, they also feel uneasiness in their body, and so the issue of mining with mercury has also come in as these galamseyers, when the soil from the river, they use the mercury to trap the gold, and so it is also affecting the livelihoods of the people when it comes to the water they use.
And I understand that the regional minister, Said Jibril, who is also the chairman of the Regional Security Council, has been talking. What exactly did he say before we hear him exactly?
Yes, he's been registering his displeasure at the expense of mining with impunity that is ongoing on the Black Volta, because looking at the extent that the water is gradually color as a result of the according to him, he has the Regional Security Council and the security apparatus in the region has a lot of work to do because a lot of champagne machines on the Black Volta. Let's take a listen to what he's been saying.
What we did, we started. You can clearly see when you were there yesterday the level at which
And you just heard the Savannah Regional Minister, Saeed Jibril. Earlier, you heard our Northern Region correspondent, Christopher Mwako, bringing us a situational report of the effect of the activities of Galamsey on the black voter. And we'll stay a bit longer on this because small-scale miners are kicking against a total ban of the operations. At a press conference in Takwa, the miners stated that a total ban on small-scale mining would have severe economic consequences, especially during these challenging economic times when they are also contributing their quota to the national development. Irama Smith joins us live via video call. Irama, just talk to us. What exactly are their concerns, especially when they admit that the environment is taking a toll from small-scale mining?
So we all know the public backlash against illegal mining because of the results that we are seeing around the pollution of our river bodies or water bodies. We see the impact on our environment, and people are really feeling the impact. An example was when Acheke producers in part of the Western region came out to tell us that they actually use some chemicals to treat the polluted water before they use it for the production of atike, which is sent to all our market centers across the country. So the intensity is now biting, and the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners held their press conference at Takwa. They believe that it is being misdirected. They want us to set emotions aside and remove the politicization of the whole issue and deal with it holistically.
A total ban on small-scale mining has economic challenges, such as unemployment of the youth, which is a security threat also to the states. Here in Takwa alone, the small-scale miners, majority of them work underground. They are not closer to any river body. And banning even such activity, most of the economic activities here will be obstructed. Illegal mining is illegal mining. There is nothing like illegal small-scale mining. Therefore, it would be unfair to say that every issue that is happening in this country is by small-scale miners.
Small-scale miners obviously are telling us their concerns, but Irama, any recommendations from them?
Yes, they have some proposals, and one of them is a restriction or reduction in the importation of components used in the manufacture of floaters that we commonly refer to as chamfang, among others.
And we also propose that immediately they should reduce and restrict the importation of major components used in the manufacturing of these floaters, because if these components are not in the country, they will not be able to get them to manufacture these floaters.
And you heard a representative of small-scale miners leading that press conference in Takwa in the Western region. That press conference is basically kicking against a proposal to totally ban small-scale mining. And earlier you heard Irama Smith, our correspondent, following that press conference for us. Let's just stay a little bit longer on this, because mine workers are also currently picketing the Lands Ministry, and we have Armstrong Gold Alogwe, who is covering this event for us. He joins us live on the line. Armstrong, what can you tell us about this picketing currently happening at the Lands Ministry? Okay, we seem to have lost Armstrong there, but we'll bring you an update as and when we are able to connect to him. Let's bring you some other issues. And the Institute for Economic Affairs, IEA's presidential debate, an evening encounter has hit a snag, compelling organizers to call off today's scheduled program. The first of the series was to kick off this evening, but the leader of the new force, Nana Kwame Bediako, has pulled out at the 11th hour. And Stanley Niblo is there. He joins us live on the line. Stanley, what were you told exactly by the IEA as regards the reasons given by Nana Kwame Bediako, who is supposed to be the first presidential candidate to participate in this 2024 encounter?
So, Beatrice, today the Institute of Economic Affairs, that is the IEA, scheduled to host the leader and founder of the new force, Nana Kwame Bediako, to open the presidential evening encounter. That will be followed by a presidential debate in the subsequent days to come. But we have just been told that Nana Kwame Bediako has just pulled out. Information regarding why he pulled out has been very scanty. But what we note is that this is going to actually distort the IEA's calendar so far as the evening presidential encounters and the presidential debates are concerned, because Alan Kojo Martin has been scheduled to appear at the encounter next week, a week after Nana Kwame Bediako has been engaged. But as we speak, Nana Kwame Bediako has pulled out, and the reasons for his pullout have been very scanty. You know, this is a platform that he is actually providing this platform to political party leaders so that they can articulate in clear language their vision and policies for the country. And so, just as this today's event has been called off by the IEA, we don't know. What we don't know is whether the IEA will still go ahead to engage Alan Martin next week.
I know also that you've been following the picketing of Investment Holders Forum. Can you tell us more about that?
So, with that story, today marks the 15th time that the Lockup Investment Forum members are picketing at the Finance Ministry. This morning at 9 a.m., they converged at the NDK House, close or behind the Accra Sports Stadium, and then they processed to the Finance Ministry. This time around, the relief they are seeking for has to do with a pressure on the government or the Finance Ministry to reduce an amount of 2.3 billion cedis that have been earmarked to recapitalize the National Investment Bank, that is NIB. They claim that that money is too huge and that governments can reduce that money and use parts to actually settle some of the people or clients whose investments have been locked up.
Thank you very much, Stanley Niblewo, following to event for us right here in Accra. Let's return to Armstrong Alugbe, who is following the mine workers picketing the Land Ministry. Armstrong, what can you tell us from where you are?
Yeah, so Beatrice, currently the mine workers who have been demonstrating here at the Ministry of Land have called off the demonstration with immediate effect after the minister has terminated and directed the Ministry of Minerals Commission to issue a notice of termination to the Future Global Resources Bogoso Prestia Mining Company, terminating their lease following the agitation from the mine workers, also demanding that their 9-month arrears be paid. The minister, after terminating the Future Global Resources Mining license, has also ordered that the mine workers be paid their 9-month arrears within 120 days. So as we speak now, the protesters or the mine workers who came here with loud music, almost stopping all the activities here at the Ministry of Land, have moved to TUC now in jubilation after the minister met their demands. Beatrice.
Thank you very much, Armstrong Alugbe, following that picketing of mine workers at the Land Ministry. Thank you for bringing us those details. Now, President Akufo-Addo has sacked the Director General of the National Sports Authority, Doji Numekavo, from his role with immediate effect. The President is said to have made the decision following news about the poor state of the country's football pitches and the national embarrassment it has cost the country. You may recall that CAF recently withdrew its approval for the use of the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi for Category 3 games due to poor quality of the pitch and other infractions. In a dismissal letter dated September 17, 2024, the NSA board was directed to hand over to the chairman of the governing board of the authority with immediate effect. Now, the board was appointed as the interim Director General of the National Sports Authority in February 2024, following the departure of Professor Peter Chumesi, and we'll be bringing you some analysis, but you're still here on the Midday News on 3FM 92.7. And let's speak to Jeremy Otre now. He's a sports analyst. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Otre. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you.
For some, this is good riddance, as it were. For others, the president went after a small fly. What's your stake?
Yes, I think the president's action
has come in too late. Too late in the sense that the NSA boss who has been sacked, has little or no hand in the mess that we have been confronted with over the last 2 years or so. And so that indeed leadership has consequence. But the matter is that this is not what will solve the problem. The problem, NSA has consistently misforced facilities in the country. That it is funds that they don't have from central government or not, the plan over the last few years is not one that anyone who is into sports or football in particular is happy with. And all practical measures have to be taken to deal with the problem confronting us than a mere dismissal of being in office 6 months or so.
So for you, this is not enough, but the embarrassment has already been caused. Can it be reversed with some of these actions you're calling for, and what could be those actions? Those actions immediately should be prioritizing one of the stadiums, because we need the ability to play on or use in the next 2 years. So maybe if it is Accra or Kumasi, we should prioritize it. Say CAF is asking us to fix, and then when we are able to get certification from CAF and use it for the upcoming game, afterwards we can do a of exactly what is wrong and then deal with the other. Thank you very much. We ended here. Jerome Archer, he's a sports analyst. And that's it for the news here on 3FM 92.7. My name is Beatrice Adu. Thank you very much for joining us today. Log on to 3news.com for more news. Have a good afternoon.